to do. I always tell them what to do. You all need to sit down like I showed you how to do. Okay, there you go. You're good. That's the best you've ever done it. You know, that takes a lot of practice too, learning how to sit and stand. We have one of our fourth grade teachers, Miss Melissa Greer, is going to read a Christmas story to you all called The Polar Express. It'll be just like watching the movie when she reads it. She is very dramatic and energetic, and we're excited that she's here to entertain you all.
On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound. A sound a friend told me I'd never hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend insisted. I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear the sounds, though not of ringing bells, but from outside the sounds of hissing steam and squeaky metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house. It was wrapped in April's steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. A conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his desk and looked at my window. I put on my slippers and my robe. I went out the door. All aboard, the conductor cried out, and I went up to him. Well, he said, aren't you coming? Where? I asked. Why, to the North Pole, of course. This is the Polar Express. I took out his hand, and he pulled me aboard. The train was filled with lots of children, and all were in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and ate candy. We drank hot chocolate as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of the towns and villages flickered by in the distance as the Polar Express came racing forward. Soon there was no more lights to be seen. We traveled through cold, dark forests where the wolves rode. We went through the quiet wilderness. We climbed mountains so high it seemed as if we would scrape the moon. But the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we went along, rolling over the peaks through the valleys like we were on a roller coaster. The mountains turned into hills, and hills turned into snow-covered plains. We crossed a bare desert ice. The Polar Express ice pack. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like lights of an ocean sailing by a frozen sea. There, said the conductor, right there is the North Pole. The North Pole? It was a huge city standing along the top of the world, filled with factories where elves were making toys. First we didn't see them, but they were in the center of the city. That's where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas, the conductor told us. Well, who's going to get the first gift, I asked. The conductor answered, he's going to choose one of the Look, shouted the children, look, there's the elves. We were so excited we ran and danced and took off running straight towards the center. We pressed through the crowd, the large open circle, and in front of us was Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were so excited they pranced and danced, ringing the bells from the harnesses. It was a magical sound. Nothing I've ever heard sounded like that before. Across the circle, the elves moved apart, and Santa Claus appeared. We cheered so loudly. He marched to us and pointed to me. Let me have that fellow right there, he said. Me? The conductor helped me up, and I sat on Santa's knee, and he asked me, now, what do you want for Christmas? I knew I could have any gift that I could possibly imagine. But the one thing I wanted most for Christmas was not in Santa's toy bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, he smiled. Then he gave me a hug and he told an elf to cut a bell from the reindeer's harness. The elf then tossed it up to Santa, and he stood there high above his head. This is the first gift of Christmas. The clock struck midnight and the elves rolled through and Santa handed the bell to me. I put it in my backrobe pocket to keep it safe. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh and Santa shouted out to the reindeer all their names, cracked his whip, and off they took. His team charged forward and climbed higher and higher as they soared in the air. Santa circled above me once and then disappeared in the sky. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, all the other children wanted to see my bell. I reached into my pocket, but all I had was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa's sleigh. Hurry, I want to go find it. But all of a sudden, the train took off, and we started moving. We were on our way home. It broke my heart to lose that bell. When the train reached the house, I sadly went inside and stood by my door and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from afar, but I couldn't hear what he said. What? I yelled back. He cupped his hands around his mouth and said, Merry Christmas! The Polar Express let out a loud whistle and he sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I was opening our presents. It looked as if everything had been unwrapped when Sarah found one small, tiny box hidden behind the tree, and it had my name on it. So I opened it up, and inside was my silver bell, and there was a note. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. You better fix that hole in your pocket, sighed Mr. C. I was so happy I shook the bell, and it made the most beautiful sound I had ever heard. But my mother said, too bad. Yeah, said my father. Sorry your bell is broken. Broken? It wasn't broken. When I shook the bell, my parents did not hear the sound. But I did, because I do believe.
All right, sitting behind me is Miss Cox's third grade class, and as you can see, they have their handout. They're going to play Silent Night for you. pass the elementary school, we most of the time sing, which is wonderful, but nowadays we do all sorts of different things. We have instruments we play, and that's just a lot of neat things. You're welcome anytime you want to come and do the music class, or come and sit in with us. We'll hand you candy and play along and sing along. Miss Cheyenne, England, who is one of our third grade teachers, is now going to sing for you a song called Over and Over. Thank you, Miss Cheyenne.